Hey guys, CM here. I wanted to get this video done before I make a rig for it. I'm waiting on tech locks to show up, so I really can't get any further. But you know how the tendency of Kydex. I've been really lucky lately, though. I haven't. I've been managing to make some Kydex sheaths that, I mean, didn't even leave a mark on these knives. But just on the off chance, I wanted to preserve this thing in its fucking pristine, freshly wiped the oil off kind of condition. So this is a custom order for a guy on Blade forums, and he saw a Tanto that I made in similar profile that I did in XHP, and he wanted something like it. So we decided on A2, and for him thickness was a concern, but he also wanted a laminated scale. So we picked burlap and for the liner material, Jade G10, and this is a half-eighth thickness of G10. So that's how that came out. Natural burlap micarta. And I surface ground this knife to 175 thousandths thick. Now my A2 comes from the mill, comes at 205 thousandths thick. So that's a lot of time on the surface grinder. I mean, it gets tedious. I mean, like y'all saw the video I put on Instagram of me surface grinding, smoking that cigar, right? Yeah. Imagine that times like 10. No, like times like fucking 4 hours. Yeah. And then you start to get a picture of what I have to do to these things. Whew. All right. So, this is a very low drag fighter. The blade style is patterned after the early Emerson Specwar fixed blade fighters. Deep finger guard, sharpening choil. Balance is right here at the trigger finger guard or finger groove, I guess you would call it, the guard, finger choil. There are a lot of words for it, but it's basically the duty of this depression here is to keep your finger from sliding up on the blade. Now, the grind on this guy is, and I'm going to have to put this down here to get the camera to focus, but y'all can see this, right? All right. So this is, I call it a false zero bevel. And I'll get into why in a second. But, yeah. Let's see if the camera will pick this up. Uh-huh. Nice little false edge. And the reason why it's a false zero bevel is because it does have a secondary bevel on the flat side. So yeah. So there's my maker's mark, and the buyer wanted, as an afterthought, he wanted USA engraved somewhere on it. So I put that on there last night. But this thing is a thing of beauty. So okay, dimensions. We have from tip to sharpened, 5 and 5/8. Tip to front of bolster, about 5 and 7/8. Overall length is 10 and 3/4, just a little bit past. Weight on this bad boy, 9.941 ounces. This has been hardened to 6061 RC with cryo. Like I said, it's A2 tool steel. Beautiful fighting knife. It's just so simple. So high speed, low drag. That's what I like about these Tanto designs, is that if you take the grind up very high, you've got a fucking nightmare of a slicer, especially because you can drag this secondary point deeper into the cut, almost like a recurve, as you're coming out of a slice, out of a slash. And stabbing is no problem with this. This is not a knife you'd be prying beer caps open with. No. This is definitely a fighter. Now, I have tested this before I put the final edge on it. I was whacking it on the side of my shop bench, and, the steel is perfect, but still, you don't want, this is not a hard use fighter or fixed blade, This is for very few utility yeah. Well, it depends on what you call utility applications. But you know, the blade length itself is just the right length, as I like to call, that I learned from somebody else that has a greater experience than I in this industry. It's long enough to get to the Kool-Aid at the bottom of the peanut butter jar. So I'll let you guys draw your conclusions from that. But let's see if I have enough hair on any of my appendages. Okay, I guess this will do. Yeah, it'll have to. Okay, yeah, that'll do. Now I wipe off the CM here, not out of common courtesy, not out of cleanliness, but out of well, copyright protection. Because I know some motherfucker who wants to send one of my hairs to China and get a fucking CM clone made, and that ain't gonna happen. Fucking have a whole room full of CMs making knives for fucking pennies on the dollar. No, thank you. All right. As always, stay armed, stay alert, stay alive. Hua. God bless. Later.